What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday afternoon to all of you. Thank you for watching Sportsbook Review. This is Betting with the Bag. We got to work very, very quickly here. We're going to be joined in 9 minutes by Maxwell Smart, and I'm going to add a couple plays, at least one for sure. And I'm going to need a little bit of help from the great cappers in the chat, like Gabriel Fleury Court in the house. Vinny Cornell, take it easy. I like it, take it easy, but we can't. Let's get a little bit easier and let's have a 4-1 final. That's what I would prefer, a 4-1 final. But yes, we are on the under 6.5 in the Caps Rangers, and finally money started coming back in on the under. I got it at plus 118. I don't believe that's actually. I'm set up for this Ottawa thing, so we'll get to that very quickly. There's Reese, Rondelrick, Barry thinking about the Rangers money line. Traditionally, they play the Capitals very tough. They haven't in their meeting this year, but traditionally they play them very tough. I've got no problem with it. I prefer the under 6.5 on the plus money line, like Gonzalo's on. That's a play I really, really like. There's KDU by Chef Jeff. There's Red Girl, Jimmy CC, No Request, Gegard, J Peach in the house. Ron Lofton, Jeff Billings. Jeff Billings. What call on the Warriors last night. I wish I had the balls to run with you in that game. Spectacular work from our Jeff Billings. What a great capper this man is. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste Jeff's action right here. Jeff, Warriors. Spectacular stuff. Salty Dog, Shaft, Fat Fist, Prince of the City, Nick the Slick, Mississippi Kid, Trenton, Claxton. Okay, we have questions coming in already from Max. Okay, let me get that copied and pasted. Time is a factor here. Time is a factor. I'm a little panicky because I do want to talk a little bit about it. Oh, there's a barbecue sauce titty play of the day. Man, AM crushes with these plus lines. He's on the Hawks plus 11 to minus 110. God, I think I might come with you. He's sprinkling a little bit on the money line. And Washington Wizards money line at plus 115. I think I might come with you with that Hawk spot. Man. Oh. Okay, but let's get to this hockey game first. There's Newfie Roman, Ill Wise in the house. Take it easy, not applicable. Nut Flush, Allen, JF, J Peach. The team is together. Stephen Dollery. Let's get to work right now. There's Joey Evang, Jesse Nemeth. Okay, so first, and wow, Mississippi Kid, you were on them too. Man, great work by you guys. I wish I had the balls to make a move. My NBA, I was double digits in both NBA and NHL. Now I've slipped to plus 6.5 in NBA. I'm not happy about that at all. Okay, Reese has a question. Okay, if we can hold off, there's Intex. Love seeing Intex. Thank you for joining us, my man. Okay, if we can hold off on the questions for Max for just 6 minutes. There's Joe and Nisi in the house. Just give me 6 minutes. Okay, I'll put that under with the questions here for Maxwell Smart. There you go. Okay. I feel like the best move that I can make in this Ottawa game, and I should have got in it earlier. It's not been that big of a change. Let me just take one last look and make sure that we have the goalies that we are expecting in these two games here. And Craig Anderson, Carey Price. Of course, they're going back-to-back with Carey Price. Of course they are. All right, I'm going to stay off the Ottawa Senators first period. Okay, so that's being taken off. Okay, I'm only on the under 6.5 full game. Under 6.5 money lines in totals. Let's just see if that total changed. I got plus 118. You could have got plus 120 at one point. Now you can still get plus 120 at Bovada. Wow. No other plus 120s. Bovada. Oh, and Heritage. What am I talking about? Okay, so look, some books still very scared of the over. I am not. There's Viper MB and now it's Deer Slayer Ski. Riku Oroxas, and now it's Keith Sadler. Nice to see Keith Sadler joining. Okay, now let's go into NBA quickly. We have 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. I'm already on the DeMar DeRozan over 22.5 points. I gave that out in the morning. I bragged about it around the office. Flash jumped on it as well. Let's see what it is just very quickly right now. I got over 22.5. It's still at over 22.5. Nobody's scared that I'm on it. And why should they be? Okay. All right. DeMar DeRozan. Oh, wow. And Fatfist says Bovada's at plus 105 right now. Well, that makes me feel better. I wanted to beat that move. Look, I love the under 6.5. I love it. And I need to talk about NBA right now. But I absolutely love it. I love what David Quinn did by cutting Haley, benching Buchnevich. If there's going to be no penalties drawn, the Capitals are going to draw no penalties, in their own defensive zone. The Rangers aren't going to do any soft stick checks because they know what's going to happen. They're going to get waived. Okay. Michael Ervolina, my guy. Okay, there's the sports keg in the house, my guy Jay. There's the icon. Also, speaking of the sports keg's live line that I love being a part of so much, tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm rolling with the boss and the sauce. Playoff Drive Live Pick 6 show. Got a bottle of liquor ready to pop open, man. Office pops. Yes. Jeff Billings says, Jimmy, take James Harden with over in assists at 130. Let me copy and paste that right now. Okay. Okay, so let's just get in. I know we only have 3 minutes. We got to work very quickly here. Let me just copy and paste Jeff's action. Here we go. All right, so the only plays I'm on are DeMar and the Jazz, and I saw the Jazz go down to 2.5 and back to 3. Look, I'm not sitting here extremely confident in the Jazz play. I know there's a ton of sharp money on the Timberwolves. I know that, but I am on the Jazz. Okay, so those are the only 2 plays I'm on. I'm going to stay off the Knicks. Let's get to NBA very quickly here. We need Max on the show ASAP, and I can't hold him up. Okay, so let's just quickly go over this card extremely fast on these games I was thinking about. The Knicks, plus 12.5. I'm going to... there's nothing to check. Okay, that's better. Okay. Knicks plus 12.5. I'm going to stay off. Then we have Magic Raptors. Revenge game, Jay, on the Magic. I don't want to. I don't want to do that. There's Sean Williams. We will get it, Sean. Don't worry. And I jumped on the Stephen F. Austin as well. Scratchy noise, they're saying, but it's better now. Okay. All right. Sorry, I've got to stay as focused as possible here, you guys. Yes. Very excited to be working with the Sports Keg on Thanksgiving night. That's going to be extremely fun. Okay. Very, very excited about that, Jay. Thank you for having us on your show on Thursday. Okay. I'm going to stay off the Raptors, although I want... And the icons on the Magic. Everybody's saying Magic. Oh, there's Owens. Player props. God, you guys got to stop with such exciting action so I can start focusing on my own shit. Okay, here we go. Going to copy and paste that. Pop that right here. All right. Quickly. Right under Jeff Billings. JF hitting Raps first half. I love it. Non-applicable says lots of people on the Magic. I won't be one of them. Are they barely beating the Spurs and the Wizards? They're going to go into Toronto and smash? Okay, the Hawks I find appealing. The Bucks going to be on a back-to-back. They're at home to the Blazers tomorrow night. This is just screaming like a letdown spot. It's screaming letdown spot. Hawks is the only thing that I would add right now. And Stu Chaos, I saw your looks from the early show. Yeah, I copied and pasted your looks from the early show. I can tell you exactly what they are right now. Stu Chaos, Toronto first half minus 2.5 plus 101, and the over 208. There's Big Ragu in the house. Big Ragu and I will be live this evening. And by the way, speaking of the Pick 6 contest, DJ Big Boss broke into the top 50. He's now 46th. What a guy. Jeff Billings leading Golden State first period or first half. God, I'd like to back Golden State first quarter, but I got talked off that as well, which is fine. Lamont Williams, max betting Spurs and Wizards under 239.5. I just feel like Atlanta should stay close here. They should stay close. First half of a back-to-back. Should I have the balls to take the Hawks? Can somebody come in here and help me? And then the Cavaliers. Let's go to this Cavaliers spot right now. And let's just go one quick last check at Roto World and see if they've come up with anything else going on here. One quick, and then we will jump over to Max. I'm going to go over to Roto World quickly, get just the last second information that I can get on these Cavaliers. Get me there right now. Okay, here we go. These Cavaliers, love is available for Wednesday. All right. Should I just stay off the Hawks? Trotwam would lean Atlanta. Kevin Taylor leaning Atlanta. Melee Pettis. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, Von Post, is do not take the Hawks or the Cavaliers. Stay away. I'm not going to stay away from the Cavaliers. I am taking the Cavaliers first quarter. I'm taking Cleveland first quarter. I'm getting up. Let me go to spreads. I'm getting plus 3.5 at bookmaker. Plus 3.5 and minus 111. All right, so let's lock that in very quickly here. We got to get to Max, and I apologize. Cavaliers first quarter, plus 3.5 and minus 111. AM says, take the Hawks, Jimmy. I know that you're on them. Jimmy Rummy says, I can do that, Jimmy. I got the Bucks projected around 18 points. Opened at plus 10. If you got the Bucks projected at 18, then you should take the Bucks. I mean, 18 points better. Nice to see you, Jimmy Rummy. Shaft says, I cannot back the Hawks at all after the Clippers and Lakers beatdown. Hornets, Pistons, Jazz. Alex Ramirez says, stay away in Capitals. Get Garday, Hawks first quarter plus 3 minus 105. Jeff Billings says, I like Atlanta to keep it close. Take it easy says, because of the 50 and 30 points lost to stay away. Okay. Oh, minus 18, yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, I heard that Von Polo. Okay. Von Polo, yes. That was being talked about, J-Man. Okay, I'm not going to take the Hawks. When does that game start? That game starts? All right, I've got 30 minutes after 7 to think about it. I can see Jabral Ball today. Really? Okay. Reese thinking Golden State Warriors cover. I'm going to bet it at plus 3, Fat Fist. Okay, I can't sit here humming and hawing. Trey will get his. We know he'll get his. Do the Bucks, you know what? I got to go with it. I can't sit on the fence on this play. I've got to go with it. Okay, I'm going to take Hawks full game here at plus 11. At plus 11, I'm getting a minus 103, and I will take it from Pinnacle. Atlanta Hawks plus 11, minus 103. All right, I'm on it. Owen's also on Cavs plus 3, first quarter. Beautiful. Raps money line, Pistons plus 1 full game, Jazz first half minus 1.5, and Luka over 10 rebounds in a parlay. I'm going to take the Hawks plus 11. I want the Hawks here. This just feels like a spot that everyone's staying away from the Hawks because they got destroyed on that it's the opposite. They got destroyed on the road. Now they come home. They're going to feel a little better about themselves. The Bucks aren't going to be playing. They have playing everybody plus 30 minutes. They don't have Middleton. Brogdon's gone in the offseason. Where's the scoring going to come from? It's just Bledsoe and Giannis. All right. I pulled the trigger. Those are my 2 additions. Cavaliers first quarter at plus 3.5 and the Hawks plus 11 and minus 103. There's my guy, Cody AV, representing my hometown of Vancouver, British Columbia. Let's bring in our guy, Maxwell Smart, here right now. I already locked in. This is the first time that I did have some time in the afternoon to take a good look at what he was already on and make some moves on him. I've tailed 6 bets, I believe, 6 bets at $100 a pop. Yesterday, I lost one of the bets I was on by a point and one by a half point. So it was an ugly day for me, but I'm expecting to get it all back here tonight. Rafa, my man, can you roll our guy Max's intro? I'm pumped to have Maxie on the show.
It wasn't until 2018 that the diamond in the rough went from hooligan to king of the world.
The guy couldn't play for shit, dog. He was awful. But can he cap? Guess he can.
Max, my man, happy Wednesday evening to you. How you feeling today, my guy?
Doing okay.
Oh, Max.
Just ready to...
Max, all right.
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, it is good. Can I hear you one more time, Max?
Yeah, what's going on, Jim?
Beautiful, beautiful. How you doing today, my guy?
Doing all right. Obviously, busy slate of games, a lot of good ones, a lot of line movements, so really have to trust your capping and trust your timing, because if you didn't get a good number, you're not going to get the advice from me to go ahead and take it anyways. Just a heads up.
That makes sense. Because that first half play that I lost, the first half play that I lost on George Mason, you cashed. at 3.5. I didn't have 4.5. Max coming off a 7 and 10 day, 3.70 units down. And Max is streaky, and I believe we're going to get hot today. Can we put up Max's overall record? Rafa, this is Max's overall record. And let's take a look at it quickly. There we go. There's Max's overall record. 17 games over 500, hitting at 54.7%, still up double-digit units with a 5.70 ROI. There he is. And Max's best bets. Max's best bets have been very streaky, and we're on we've missed 3 in a row after scoring 3 in a row. So let's pop up Max's best bets here for transparency, honesty, all that good stuff. This is what Peter Loshak and I always dreamt of, and it's not easy keeping these numbers and doing these stats. It takes a lot of time, but we feel like it's very, very important. Lamont Williams, I have all of Matt Randall's plays here, and we are going to be talking about them. What I will do first is I will put them in the chat. I will put Matt Randall's plays in the chat, but we've got to start firing shots. And by the way, the taint play today, though, Grambling State -1. We'll look at that market move because that was moving against them earlier today. We'll take a look at that Grambling State -1. I'll put his other plays down here, but let's get after it right now. You can also start hammering your questions at me. You can start hammering your questions for Max at me. We're going to start with Max's first play because it pops off in 43 minutes, and that is Chattanooga. I tailed Chattanooga. Let's get over to it right now. Am I on? Sorry, I'm on NCAAF. Here we go. Little frantic start to the show, and I apologize for that. Let's get after it right now. Chattanooga, Florida State. Open up -20.5 for Florida State. Now -20. Max got in at +21.5. I got in at +20. Now we have 19.5 at Bookmaker, Bet Online, and Bovada. Why are you backing Chattanooga here as a big road dog?
Yeah, I just think that Florida State at this number, we just can't trust them, We've seen how they've done with laying points. The Western Carolina game, they were struggling big time. They really had to mount a serious comeback in the second half. The fact is, there's a lot of moving parts on this Florida State team, and I think that the continuity for Chattanooga is going to be able to help us prevail tonight. I personally think that with David Jean-Baptiste, Matt Ryan, and Ramon Villa, you have 3 key pieces that are playing significant minutes, can do different things offensively and defensively. It's just a matter of staying out of foul trouble and staying on the floor. You got a solid point guard in Maurice Commander. I think that Chattanooga will be up to the task tonight, and I think that with a young team where I think that you're going to lean on guys like Trent Forrest and MJ Walker, you need the freshman, the dazzling freshman, Devin Vassell to really show up tonight. I think that Chattanooga hits enough of their free throws. I think that they hit enough three-point shots and they play decent enough defense when it comes to an opponent that's trying to dictate the tempo that they want to play. And I think that Chattanooga just hangs around. I think this is just a couple too many points. I'm on Chattanooga. I like the first half and I like the full game.
I tailed it. Now, I just made the bets. Time was a factor. I didn't make them official plays, so I will be doing that right now. Let's see what I'm getting on Chattanooga. I am getting Chattanooga +20 at -105 at Heritage. Chattanooga, Chat +20 -105 at Heritage. All right, let's move into Max's next play, and it's another play that I tailed. Siena opened at 6.5. It's now at 6 at a bunch of books. There's a 5.5 at Bet Online and a 5 at Bookmaker. It was all 5.5s. All 5.5s, 45 minutes ago. So money is coming back in on Yale. Why are you backing Siena here as a road dog?
I've learned in college basketball that when a team shows you something on paper, in the stats, and with the eye test that they can do, then you keep on backing them. This is a situation where I respect what Yale's done with Paul Atkinson and guys like Jordan Bruner, but I think that Jalen Pickett, coming off such a terrible game where he went 2 for 10 shooting against Harvard and they still covered a double-digit spread, I think that we're going to see a great game from Jalen Pickett tonight. I think Donald Carey steps up, and Donald Carey's coming off a 17-point game himself. I think Siena hits enough free throws. They play good enough three-point defense to really frustrate Yale, and I think that's all about pace, tempo for Siena. I think that they try and penetrate the lane. I think that they don't settle for 3-point shots, and I think that they really keep Yale on their toes. I look for Siena to really dominate in the first half and then really have to play defending counterattack against Yale's furious push in the second half. So Siena, for me, full game is something I had to lay.
Speaking of Yale's furious push, you jumped on the over in this game. You got a great number at 139.5. 5 Dimes opened it at 140.5. They've moved it up to 141.5. That's the highest spot it stands right now. Why are you on the over in Siena Yale?
Yeah, I think that when you're playing Siena, I think that with this new pace that they're playing a completely different tempo. I think that it's going to push you into running and gunning. You know that every player in Division I basketball, they don't want to play slow. They don't want to play deliberate. They want to play fast. They want to freestyle. And I think that this is a game where you're going to see Yale fall into that trap multiple times. We definitely have to take notice of what Siena's done on the road when it comes to overs and unders. But I definitely think that Siena is going to have an easier time scoring the basketball against Yale than they did Harvard, and it's going to resemble more of the type of scoring game that they played against Xavier on the road, with the deficit being much smaller.
There you have it. Those are the first 3 plays on the board. We are making good time. Let's keep it rolling. Max's next look was Loyola under 129.5. Let's get to Loyola Chicago. IUPUI Loyola Chicago. This total opened up at 131.5 and bounced around a little bit. Max got in at 129.5. It's now at 131.5. Oh, sorry. It's now at 131.5 or even a 132 at Heritage. Max, why is this look IUPUI Loyola Chicago on the under?
Yeah, this was pretty much a bad move on a line, and I'm probably going to try and set myself up to hopefully not get Polish middled on this game. First off, I didn't anticipate this line moving the way that it did, considering that it did start at 131 in the morning, moved down to as low as 128, and now is shot right back up. So it makes me question what type of money is really pushing that line, and I'm trying to keep that out of my mind, but I have to take into consideration that IUPUI Marcus Burke had a fantastic game against South Florida. That was a huge underdog win. Are they able to carry that on against Loyola Chicago tonight? I don't think so. I don't think that Loyola Chicago is going to really play as fast-paced as they did in their last game, where they eclipsed, I think, over 150 in the final total. I think that with Cameron Krutwig, you have a dominant low-post player that you really want to slow the pace down, minimize possessions, and play a really dirty rock fight style type game. I think that if you run with IUPUI, you let them go at a faster pace, you risk Marcus Burke getting hot from 3, and that could torch you as far as this under. So right now I'm a little nervous about this line movement, even though I'm trying to stay off of it. But I'm gonna just take a chance. I'm gonna go over 131.5, and hopefully I'm not gonna get us Polish middled on this. I know it's not conventional, but that's the way I'm gonna do it.
Some static problems, so we just quickly changed the mic, and thank you for your patience on that. Okay, so that's Max on the Loyola under. The next look on Max's card that he already locked in is Ryder.
Oh, Jim.
Yeah.
Jim. Yeah. No, you missed the last part. So I want to add now, because I'm having trepidation with this pick.
Sure.
And I want to basically, I want to set myself up, hopefully not get Polish middled. So if I can get the over 131.5, I'd like that very much if possible, please.
You can also get over 131 if you want it minus 120.
No, I'll take the over 131.5 at the minus 110.
131.5 and minus 110. Okay, yeah, I did hear you saying that. I was sort of under the impression that you were doing that for your own personal account, but adding that in here sounds good. Over 131.5 at minus 110. Over 131.5 at minus 110. And apologize about that. Does it sound better? Okay, sweet, beautiful. Okay, let's keep rolling. The next look on Max's card is the under in the Ryder Massachusetts game. This was another move that went against you here. And I say another just because the last one did. As we've seen, you're beating not over 90% of these moves. So I just mean another one just because of the last one. This opened up at 147, and you jumped on the under at 146.5. It's climbed all the way up to 152 or 152.5. There's a 151.5 at William Hill. Why do you think this market move has gone against you, and why are you on the under?
I can't figure out why this market move has gone against me. I don't think that Massachusetts is going to want to get into a run-and-gun game like they did with Northeastern. And Ryder, there's some major turnover issues going on within the starting lineup. I'd have to check the stats, but I believe Stevie Jordan had close to 10 turnovers in his last game. And against a team like Arizona State, who I think plays suffocating defense, but not as suffocating as UMass so far this year, without a true rim protector with Trey Mitchell, I think Ryder's going to have problems scoring the basketball against this UMass team. And I think that this UMass team has shown us that they can play dirty. They can win different styles of game. And I just don't understand this move. It tempts me to do the exact same thing that I just did with the Loyola game. Unfortunately, there's close to a 5 or 6 point difference between the two. So I'm having a little bit of troubles there. I'm just going to let the Ryder under ride, and hopefully the capping's going to prove correct.
Yeah, and that's what you should do at this point. That's moved too many points. Next up is Memphis. So Wiseman now coming back in late January or something like that. He has to donate $11,500 to come back. And I like your look on Memphis here. I think that they step up right now with all of this going on in the news, show that they have enough pieces on their team to take care of business. You got in on them at minus 15. 16th ranked Memphis at home against Arkansas Little Rock. They opened up at 14.5. They're now at 16.5. And I got in on them at 16.5. Tell us why you're backing Memphis here.
Yeah, I just think that now you have a Memphis team that has motivation off the basketball court to succeed and really showcase what they can do. The fact is, this is a rematch from last year. There is no more Rajon Tucker to give you 29 points in this matchup, putting a lot more reliance on sophomore point guard Marquise Noel. And I don't think that he's going to be ready to step it up in that kind of way against this team tonight. Obviously, you need a good game from Ruet Monyang, but 17 and 14 is going to be tough up against this Memphis front court. I look for Precious Achiuwa to have a real good game. I look for the shooting to be really highlighted in the Memphis game. I look for them to get on them early. I had Memphis actually rated as one of my highest first half favorite picks of the night. So I was content going with this Memphis team first half and full game. I believe that the 3-point defense is going to show its face. This is a team that plays 34% field goal defense. They're shooting the ball 51%. Obviously, I want some more free throw shooting, a little better, but I think that this Little Rock team, I think that they go up against a challenge tonight that they're just not ready for, and I think that they put a whooping on them.
So do you want to add first half to your action?
Yes, I would.
All right. It's an interesting situation here. Pinnacle does not want you to take a first half on Memphis at their book. So they're hanging the 8.5, but they're hanging it with heavy juice. Let me grab it right now. There it is. Minus 8.5 at minus 124. Or I could give you minus 9 at minus 115 at a few shops, or minus 9.5 at 110.
Yeah, give me the minus 9 and minus 115, please.
Okay, Max is doubling up on Memphis, taking them first half, minus 9 at minus 115, and I will tail that action. I will tail. That's my first edition for the late show. This is another spot Max jumped on that I liked and followed after I did a little bit of studying, and that's Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt opened up at 7.5, I believe, and Max jumped. It's at 8, and I took it at 8. Let me get to it right now. Vanderbilt right there. Oh, it opened up at 6.5. Excuse me. It opened up at 6.5. Max got it at 7.5, and I got it at 8. At home against Austin P. And tell us why you're backing Vanderbilt here.
Yeah, this is a simple play for me. I think that Austin P definitely starts out a little faster and probably gives Vanderbilt a closer game in the first half. But in the second half, I just think Vanderbilt's going to take over. What have we seen from Vanderbilt since Jerry Stackhouse came in? He has empowered Aaron Nesmith to All-American type potential. 12 for 18 from the field, 34 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks in his last game. I think that this guy's ready to go. And you know what? When you got a radioactive score that is just putting in some freaking work, I think that you got to have someone to go along with him, and they do. They got Saban Lee coming off the bench, being a real team player, a true Vanderbilt Commodore, and I think that he's going to highlight how good he can be up against second units for Austin P and having to deal with this lack of depth, because the only guy that they really have is Terry Taylor now, and I just don't see a lot of guys on this roster that are capable of stepping up and supporting him offensively. I think that Austin P will have to pride himself on defense, and I am a little worried at the end of the game if this game comes down to free throws with Vanderbilt's free throw shooting, but with them shooting 3 points at home and the way that they're moving and the pace that they're moving, I think hopefully free throws won't matter and Vanderbilt will have a comfortable cover to win this game.
All right, I tailed that, but I should grab my number here for show purposes. Here we go, Vandy. Let's grab it right now, Vandy. God, where is it? Sorry, a lot of moving parts here tonight. Vandy -8 at -105. That's available at Heritage, and I will take it right now. Vandy -8 at -105. Your next play is another play that I tailed -8 at -105. Have a sneaking suspicion Max is going to go off in back-to-back days like he did on Wednesday and Thursday last week. Vandy -8, -105. I'm tailing. The next look is Stephen F. Austin. You got in at +13. It opened at +13.5, and you got in at +13. It's now at +12 or +12.5. I'd have to double back and see exactly what I got it at, but I tailed this as well. Why are you on Stephen F. Austin here?
All right, well, you guys all know that I was at the James Naismith Classic with Al Mack, and one of the teams that we got to witness and bet against and win on were the Rutgers Knights. So first off, with Rutgers, I think that Ron Harper can really emerge. The issue is staying out of foul trouble. This guy can get on the glass. He can run the floor. He's good for an alley-oop. He's good to give an alley-oop. I think that Geo Baker is definitely struggling from the free throw line, and that's a major problem. He has the ball in his hands a lot. He's not making good attempts with the ball. Akawasi Yaboa, definitely a nice piece coming off the bench. I like Caleb McConnell, but the thing with this Stephen F. Austin team is Kevon Harris. This is going to be the first game off campus. I think that they're going to salivate at being against a Power 5 team from the Big Ten. I think that Kevon Harris is the type of guy that can help you win games in March. And I think that Stephen F. Austin has challenged themselves with a decent schedule so far, and I think that Rutgers is going to be able to win this game. I just don't think that they're able to cover this spread. I think that double digits is too much. I had Stephen F. Austin as +8.5 when I lined and created this game, and I think that tonight they proved me right.
I am on Stephen F. Austin +12.5 at -110, tailing there. I am copying and pasting the action. Matt Randall did give it out at +13.5 on the morning show. I already put Matt Randall's spots in the chat. We are going to go over them with Max very soon, but Stephen F. Austin +13.5 was one of Matt Randall's looks, and he says he fully agrees. Okay. Let's keep rolling along, Max. Your next look is Mount St. Mary's +10 at -105. Mount St. Mary's +10 at -105, excuse me. And this was a spot up against UAB. It opened at 9.5. Max got in at 10. And now you can get 10.5. So the sides, all of the sides Max is being on right now, he's beaten the market moves. This is one that's slightly gone away from him. Why do you think that is, and why are you on Mount St. Mary's here?
Yeah, this is a simple play for me. Zach Bryant was dismissed from the UAB basketball team for conduct detrimental to the team on Sunday. I think that this is just a game where they're being mislined. Obviously, I want to know if Jalen Gibbs is playing for Mount St. Mary. That could change things a little bit, causing me maybe not to take the first half on St. Mary's. But full game, I just have to see how this UAB team plays without Zach Bryant, who was going to be their catalyst for this team. Mokhtar Gueye, their big man, that's going to put a lot more pressure on him scoring-wise. I think he's capable of taking over the reins of this team, but you're really going to need Tavrik Loven to step up from the three-point line and take upon the scoring responsibility in the backcourt. I just think in this game they're not going to be ready for it, and I think Mount St. Mary has challenged themselves with a game against Washington and Georgetown. I think that they stay within this number.
Staying within the number, Mount St. Mary's plus 10. All right, now we get to a very interesting spot in this Virginia Tech game. I want to look at a couple different looks here. You got in on the over at 136.5 in this Virginia Tech game. Our guy, Il Wise, is on the team total over for Virginia Tech. It opened up at 136.5. Pinnacle's still hanging at 136. Every other book, not all of them actually, Intertop's 135.5, but a lot of other books have gone down to 134.5. Why are you on the over, and what do you think of the Virginia Tech team total over?
Yeah, this is a play that I pretty much am basing on the eye test. What I've seen from Delaware State is that they're capable of getting the ball up and down the court. They're capable of scoring the basketball. The question tonight and this game is, and what inevitably forced me to elect to decide to go with the over, is what is Mike Young going to want to do with his team as far as pace, tempo? Is he going to want to run up the score? Is he going to want to put on a show for the crowd? How is the student section going to be if the student section's on? I think that this team keeps on going. I think that this is a situation where we can see Virginia Tech decide to really play suffocating defense, but I just don't think that it's a situation we're going to see that. I think Delaware State's going to invite you naturally with their pace of play into a game that's going to be a little more up and down, and I think that Virginia Tech's going to be able to score more efficiently than they have so far this season. So I look for this game to get over 137, 138. I don't see it going over 150, but I do see it going over the number that's posted out right now.
And what do you think of the team total? What would you prefer? I mean, I guess you prefer the full over, but what do you think of the team total over for Virginia Tech?
I think that it's definitely a spot where you think that Virginia Tech flexes their offensive muscle. It's just not a spot that I've really looked into, and I can't really give you any kind of statistical backup to my opinion on it. But if they run up the score, you're going to hit it.
All right, here's another spot. Anthony Devontae, take a shot with the dog. Take a shot with the dog. If you believe in the Rangers, take a shot with the dog. Yes, if you go into overtime, you're probably in trouble. The Capitals are great there, but don't turn a dog into a minus 165 or minus 170 favorite. It's not going to work in the long run. I got you Nothing Ordinary Sports and Dolo. I've been copying and pasting these spots. This is Max's last look before we get to his additions. His first is in an I tailed this edition. Max is on Troy first half plus 11 at minus 115. Let's move over and take a look at these market moves right now, and let's see why you're backing Troy plus 11 at minus 115 at Texas A&M. Oops, I have their total up here, but Troy, Texas A&M, you're on Troy plus 11 first half. Tell us why. Oh, Max, we got to get you. No worries.
This is just a first half where I think that they're just mislined. I understand that Troy is a team in transition, but if you're going to get the type of performances that you got from Zay Williams in the last couple of games from Troy, well, then you have a perfect replacement for the scoring and production loss when you lost Jordan Bernardo. At 6'8", 185 pounds, he's slick. He can get to where he wants to on the court. It's just a matter of him getting the touches and getting the minutes. With Darian Adams as your point guard, I think that you have a point guard that understands how to run the offense. Scott Frost has taken this Troy job, and I think that he's going to bring Troy up. As far as Texas A&M, I don't know where the three-point shooting is coming from. I don't know consistently where it's going to come from. J.J. Chandler, Savion Flagg, They're nice backcourt pieces, but they're not going to take over a game, in my opinion, early. I think that they need a kick in the ass. They need a little bit of coaching at halftime from Buzz Williams. And the biggest question mark is, are we going to get a good shooting performance from Wendell Mitchell? I don't think early that I can really depend on that. Obviously, he's coming off for a 5 for 13 game where he had 14 points. And he started to get off the schneid. But in this matchup, I think that with this amount of points, I had to take Troy in the first half.
And I tailed it, but let's get an official play for me here. Line shopping at Sportsbook Review, the SBR odds page. Troy first half at A&M. Wow. No 11s anymore. I think I knew that. I didn't get an 11. I believe I got a 10. It's gone down to 9.5 at Bookmaker, 9.5 at Intertops, 9.5 at UWager. But there's a 10.5 at Pinnacle, and I will take it there. Plus 10.5 at minus 104. I'm going to add that in right there. There's Troy first half plus 10.5 at minus 114. Minus 114. Okay, so those are Max's looks that he already tweeted out. Chattanooga plus 21.5 at minus 110. Siena plus 6.5 at minus 110. Siena over 139.5 at minus 110. Loyola under 129.5 minus 110. Loyola over 131.5 at minus 110. Max concerned about the underlook that he gave out earlier. Ryder under 146.5 minus 110. Memphis minus 15 at minus 110. Memphis first half minus 9 minus 115. I tailed that play. Vandy minus 7.5 minus 110. SFA plus 13 minus 110. Mount St. Mary's plus 10 minus 105. The over 136.5 for Virginia Tech at minus 110. And Troy plus 11 first half minus 115. As I said, I tailed Memphis first half minus 9 minus 115. I also jumped on Chattanooga, Siena, Memphis, Vandy, and Stephen F. Austin with Max. I've been copying and pasting the questions that are coming in. Max, what are some additions that you want to make to your card?
All right, Jim, first off, before I make any additions, just an update in this Chattanooga-Florida State game. MJ Walker out for Florida State. That's your starting point guard. That's one of your lead scoring guards. More pressure on Trent Forrest, more pressure on Devin Vassell. We'll see how that works out in our favor tonight. Okay, my first addition that I want to make. Listen, this is a game in the team that I've been betting on. This is a team that I have a little bit of faith in, and I hope that I can keep on riding to the winner's window tonight. They are the Bryant Bulldogs. Bryant and Drexel have a common opponent already this year in Niagara. Both beat them by similar margins. One beating them on the road, one beating them at home. I like Bryant to continue going on the road and winning games. I'm not going to give you a money line play on this game, but I will take 4.5 if it's still available at Pinnacle.
I don't believe it's still available at Pinnacle. Let's take a look right now. No, Pinnacle's even moved it down to 3.5. They're the only book.
Is there any 4s left?
Yes, there's 4s everywhere else. Plus 4.
Okay, then I'll take a 4 then.
All right, Bryant plus 4 at minus 110, and I will tail that action. All right, I'm tailing Bryant plus 4 minus 110. Max, filling up my card for this evening. What's next, Maxie?
Okay, so we're going to go to this Wagner-St. Peter's game. First off, Wagner. This is a team that's obviously in a lot of transition right now. Going to rely a lot on Curtis Cobb and Tyrone Nesby to do the scoring. But you're going up against the St. Peter's team that did play a little more defensively sound against Providence, but only scored 47 points. They only scored 44 versus Bryan. I know it's early in the season. This is a St. Peter's team that is shooting really under 20% from the three-point line, under 30% from the field. This is a team I cannot trust laying points. I have to take Wagner. I'm going to take Wagner. I'm going to actually take Wagner first half. That's where I have my biggest edge. So if I can get Wagner plus 2 on the first half, I'll take it. If not, I'll take them full game.
All right, let's go to Wagner first half right now. You can get a plus 2 at minus 110. Plus 2 at minus 110. Oh, excuse me. Plus 2 at minus 105 at Bet365. Does that sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right, we have Wagner first half. Okay, while I'm locking this in for you, Maxie, take it away. What's next?
All right, so this Binghamton, New Jersey Institute of Technology game, this is a game that's close to my heart. I am a big NGIT guy. I love Zach Cooks, think that he's a fantastic player. And on Binghamton, they have a couple guys that I'm pretty hot over also, you know. George Tinsley, Sam Sessoms, Yarden Willis, a 7-footer JUCO transfer. Obviously, I'm just jealous that he's real tall and I'm not. But I think that this Binghamton team is definitely a team that has played a lot better year, since that throttling by Michigan State, covering 2 spreads. They have revenge against New Jersey Institute of Technology from last year. But I will say this, Zach Cook's played great. He's played great so far this season. He has good success against this Bingham team. And Suleimani Diakate, he had his best game as a Highlander last year. And I think that against Binghamton, he's going to have some more success this year. How I'm looking to play this game is NGIT is really not stepping up in first halves. I look for them to play a little better in the first half in this game, but not enough to get me to take them. I'm going to take Binghamton first half. I'm going to take NGIT on the second half, where I think that they are going to come out after halftime and really put the foot to the pedal and put a beat down on Binghamton like they did last game. I can't remember the opponent.
There we have it. Binghamton, first half, I can give you, and I know the other side full game. Let's start with first half. I can give you Binghamton, first half. Here we go. Plus 7.5 and minus 105.
I like it. Let's do it.
All right, there's the first look. Binghamton, first half, plus 7.5 at minus 105. And then he's going on the other side for the full game. I love when cappers do that. Let's grab this Binghamton spot. NJIT minus 13.5 at minus 110.
Yes, sir.
All right, take it away. What's next?
All right, High Point, St. Louis. This is a simple play. St. Louis is hitting threes galore. They're shooting at percentages that I'm not used to seeing. 37% from the line, 47% from the field. Obviously, free throw shooting is still the same old with them. But this is a team that's been dominant ATS early on in the season at home. They've been going over in their games. I look for Demarius Jacobs to continue his nice start to the season. And the fact is, I just don't trust this High Point team to score the basketball. This is a team that has not scored more than 62 points in a game this year. I do not think that it continues tonight. I think that St. Louis gets on them early, and I think that they get on them fast. This is a game that I want to go St. Louis first half and full game, please.
First half and full game, doubling up on St. Louis against High Point here. Wow. God, should I jump on with them? Doubling up with St. Louis. Opened up at minus 22. It's now minus 23 at Pinnacle, but minus 22 at a couple books. I can get you minus 22 at minus 110. All right, let me grab that right. I can get you minus 22 for St. Louis at minus 110. And St. Louis first half. Let's take a look at what we're getting here. Wow. I'm thinking about tailing this spot here. Let's go to point spread. Sorry, moving quickly. And while it's taking me a little second, I can make a decision whether I will tail this look as well. St. Louis first half is minus 13 at minus 110 as well. St. Louis first half minus 13. Those numbers sound good to you, Max?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to be tailing both of these looks. Double up on St. Louis. Ooh, we are investing in NCAA basketball this evening. No, we have not done that yet. Coactus, we haven't got to the questions yet. I see yours, Chad Costanza. I'll be copying and pasting them. Max, did you have anything else on your card?
Yeah, just one more play that I want to add, and then we'll get into the questions, and I can just let you know what I've already bet, because I got about 20 first half bets that I made and about 15 to 18 sides and about 12 other totals. So my accounts are emptying at a rapid rate, and I'm ready to go tonight. So the next game that I want to talk about, Florida Gulf Coast, Florida Atlantic University. I am simply fading this goddamn line movement. This is a rivalry game. This is a game where I think that FAU is being overvalued. First off, Jalen Ingram, he's only playing 13 minutes a game, averaging 5 points. I'm not ready to back them yet in a rivalry game where there's revenge from last year when FAU won by close to 20 points. I think that FAU, you have to take the record into consideration that they played 2 D2 teams and beat them both while losing to Alabama and Miami on the road. I think that Florida Gulf Coast, although they are winless this year, I think this is the perfect game for them to get off the schneid. Tough losses against UMBC and Dartmouth have really taught this team a little more. Be more efficient with the ball, solid on the defensive end, make your 3-point shots when it happens, and hopefully Zach Scott comes comes to play today. I think that this Florida Gulf Coast team is going to be able to win the game at the free throw line because FAU is shooting under 50%, under 22% from three, under 40% from the field. I'm taking Florida Gulf Coast plus 3.5.
Florida Gulf Coast plus 3.5, and I can give you that at minus 110. Florida Gulf Coast plus 3.5 at minus 110. Gulf Coast plus 3.5 at minus 110. There you have it. There you have it. Those are Max. So, Max, you talked about other plays that you're not giving out as official plays on the show, but you want to share them with the audience here. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, let me just run down the list because that will probably be a lot easier on time and we'll get to more questions. First off, Georgia. I'm looking at them as a +6 advantage in the first half, and if you can get them under 4, that's something that I would play. I think that Georgia has to start off fast against this Georgia Tech team. I think that they have to pressure the ball. They have to take it into the paint and really force James Banks to either back off or risk getting into foul trouble. Jose Alvarado's a game-time decision. If he is in the game, I think that throws off the chemistry of Georgia Tech with the backcourt of Bubba Parham and Michael DeVoe starting. I look for Georgia in the first half. I'm not so sure about the full game because we've seen Georgia Tech really adjust. And if that NC State game's anything to be aware of, we learned our lesson with that. The next game that I'm really interested in is Boston College on the first half. Eastern Washington traveling across the country. I think that's going to play into it. I think that Boston College, even without Chapman, within the lineup, I think that they do have enough pieces that they could probably put some work in and maybe at least cover it in the first half. It's a play that I made. I also
Max,
look for St. John's to come out angry tonight against Columbia, losing against Vermont at home. I look for Mike Anderson to unleash LJ Figueroa and Mustafa Heron, and I look for them to play lockdown defense. I look for them to cover the first half easily. I have them as a +13 first half advantage. My next one that I really liked was Stephen F. Austin. I liked them on the first half. I think that they have at least a +3 point advantage. I think that if you could get under 8 points, it's worth taking. Northern Kentucky, I think that this game is mislined. I think that Ball State has played some slow-paced opponents that have trouble being consistent from the field. They're not going to have that problem when they go up against Northern Kentucky and Tyler Sharp and Jalen Tate and company. I think that if Ball State tries to slow the pace down, Northern Kentucky has the pieces on the court to speed it up and really put pressure on Ball State to score the basketball. It's going to be about shutting down Taj Teague, and after Taj Teague had such a dominant game against Indiana State, I look for him to come down to earth.
Max, a couple questions here. One, if you think that Eastern Washington is, going to be tired, going all the way across the continent, why wouldn't you take them full game for tired second half legs? Why are you taking them Boston College first half and not full game?
Well, let me rephrase what I mean. I don't mean the fact that they may be tired. I just think that the whole process of getting on a bus, getting on a plane, traveling, getting used to a new city, adjusting to the time zone, I think they're going to be tired. I just think that situationally, from the travel perspective, it doesn't favor them. On court perspective, if you're going to get Jacob Davison in foul trouble, which we know he's an aggressive on-ball defender, that takes away a key offensive scoring piece. And then when you have Boston College's front court ability, you can really frustrate Mason Peatling. And I just don't think that that Aiken is the kind of guy that's going to be able to be relied upon if the other two aren't stepping up. I think Boston College is able to really take advantage of this situation. I think that they do it in the first half without having the coaching staff making any adjustments to what they were unsuccessful in doing in the first.
Okay, and then Vegas Lawrence was wondering if you could clarify your play on Georgia. Could you break that down and just clarify it for him?
Okay, so for Georgia, I think that Georgia has to get off to a fast start versus Georgia Tech. We've seen Georgia Tech adjust well at halftime and then be able to make a comeback similar to the game against NC State. I think that the key for beating Georgia Tech is getting James Banks into foul trouble. That means you have to penetrate, attack the rim early, because if you get two quickies on him and you got guys like Rayshawn Hammond, Zach that can back him down, and you got Anthony Edwards who can drive and force him to come and try and help on the defender. I think that's your best key. I think that James Banks, vocally, on-court leadership, he makes that team play better. There's some collegiate players that do that. Draymond Green was one of them. I think that James Banks is another, and I think that Georgia has to get on them early if they don't want to have a tough game and end up possibly losing in this rivalry game in the second half.
All right. I love it. Okay, did you want to keep, because I do want to save a little bit of time for questions, and we can't quite go past, we have about 15 more minutes for the show. About 15 minutes for the show. So let's keep rolling.
No, I'm ready for questions, Jim.
Oh, you're ready. Those were the first halves that you want, but you're not adding those as official plays.
Oh, I would like them all to be official plays.
Oh, shit. My fault. Sorry. My fault. Okay, sorry. So let's go back to the first half spots. My fault. Got a little confused there. And, okay.
Sorry,
and I can tell
bad.
you right now, Von Polo, we're the baby fans. Not little baby fans. Okay, let's move on to the first half action, and I will line shop for you. So the first one was Georgia?
Yep, Georgia.
Georgia, first half, and I can give you -3. Oh, I can give you -2.5 at -115 at U-Wager.
I'll take it.
Georgia, first half, -2.5 at -115 at U-Wager. Your second look...
Boston College.
Boston College, first half, and Boston College, first half here. Sorry, let me grab it here versus Eastern Washington. I can give you -5 and -115. Wow, they don't want you to bet it. -5 at -115. And what's the next one, Max?
Yep, that's the next one. St. John's, first half.
St. John's. All right, let's grab this. Sorry, St. John's. Here we go. St. John's, first half is -6. Oh, shit. Sorry, a little mistake there. -6 at -105.
Yep, that works for me.
St. John's.
Stephen F. Austin is next, and that's there's a 6.5 at Pinnacle at -120. I'm going to take the 7.5 at -110 at Heritage.
Okay, Stephen F. Austin plus 7.5, and you said it's -110?
At Heritage, yes, sir.
Wow, those are interesting looks. I think I probably invested enough in this card right now. And Schaff is now jumping on Boston College first half. Wow. Boston College first half and Georgia first half. Yes, he's on Florida Gulf Coast plus 3.5 full game. Plus 3.5 full game. Okay, we have questions coming in. I think I should tail both Georgia and Boston College here. I think I should tail both Georgia and Boston College. And I am going to. I'm going to. First half there and Boston College first half there. All right, I'm tailing 2 more plays of Max's. Okay, so we're going to get into the questions now. And I see a bunch in the chat, and I fell behind a little bit, starting with this Portland's there. Rico Roxas on. Okay, Ryder, UMass under. Okay, let me do those. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the first question on the board came from Reese. Actually, it didn't. It was Trenton Claxton. Trenton Claxton says, ask Max about NJIT half and Bryant first half over. So why don't we start there? NJIT at the half. What do you think?
Yeah, so we already know that I'm on Binghamton first half and NJIT full game.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we'll move on to that. And then as far as Bryant first half over, I was leaning towards the under in this game. I don't think that Bryant does itself any favors if they get into a run and gun game with Drexel. We saw how that worked out for Iona. So I think that they want to slow it down. That'd be my impression. They are good from the 3-point line. So I could see it hitting over. It's just not a play that I'm on either way. Sorry about that, Trenton.
And Trenton's also asking about the Ryder first half over, but Max is liking the under, even though he's a little concerned about the market move, but he's liking that game to go under regardless of the market move. So there's Trenton Claxton's question from Reese. Reese, what does Max think about Elon covering North Carolina this evening? Elon, North Carolina. See if I can pull it up for you right now. Elon opening at plus 18.5, now plus 18 or 17.5 or even plus 17. What do you think about Elon covering this?
Yeah, you're looking at the first half lines, Jim.
Oh, shit.
Elon, I think, is a 31
Oh,
point
you're
underdog
absolutely right.
tonight. I'll make this real quick and sweet. All the 30 plus dogs tonight, I'd be looking at them. I think that 2 out of the 3 hit. I think that Elon, obviously with Marcus Sheffield taking over, Hunter McIntosh, these are the type of guys that they got here. I think that they get smoked in the first half because I don't think that they're ready for the type of pace and the quality that North Carolina and Cole Anthony are going to present to them. But I do think in the second half, Roy Williams takes his foot off the pedal and gives Elon a chance not to be completely embarrassed, and they can hopefully stay within 30 points in this game.
All right, there you go. I'm still copying, pasting questions. The next question for Max is Joe Hill, BYU versus Boise State. Who wins?
Yeah, I'm on Boise State. Listen, BYU's coming off a thrilling freaking game-winning shot by TJ Haws. I think that the Toulson brothers obviously are good pieces, but you don't have Yoeli Childs. And I think that tonight in this game against the piece of shit that I hate the most in Division I basketball, who I literally hope tears his Achilles every time he puts on a Boise State uniform, I think that Derek Alston and his 15 points a game are going to be able to lead Boise State to a win. I think that this is the game where the home team's got to be favored. I think that coming off that UC Irvine home loss, I think that there is a thirst for a win. This is the signature win for Boise State. I think they get it against BYU tonight.
All right, let's keep rolling down. I see the questions coming in. We have a long list of them here. Geghard A. Can Citadel keep this within 27?
This is a game that I have no play on. I just don't like the metrics of a team traveling, playing the day before in college basketball, and then with these kind of points in this kind of total range. Sorry about that, bud.
No problem. Next up is, sorry, we have a lot of questions. Damn. Oh, is Newfie Roman wondering if Louisville can cover this giant spread. What do you think of, and we already know he thinks 2 of the 3 30-plus dogs are going to cover. What do you think about Louisville here as 36-point favorites against USC Upstate?
Yeah, Louisville, same thing. I think that they start fast against USC Upstate, but I just don't think that they beat them by 40 points. It's a situation that I definitely feel a little uncomfortable with because we have seen Louisville be just so electric offensively, having 4 or 5 double-digit scores led by Jordan Noir and his 20 points a game. It's just a play that you got to freaking take the dog and plug your nose at. The play that I like better is the over.
All right, copying and pasting more questions. Okay, we don't have a lot of time, so let's keep firing through these questions. The next one comes, we've already done Gabriel Fleury Courts, Georgia Tech. The next one is Long Balls Larry, our good friend Long Balls Larry, saying, Grambling State is now plus 2.5. The taint play of the day. He's wondering if that's still a go.
Yeah, this is a tough game for me. Obviously, we have to take into consideration that Grambling's played 2 D2 schools that have really boosted up the stats. But if you watch that Southeast Louisiana game from a week ago that they played, Devontae Jackson was absolutely fantastic. Just a handful, putting up close to 30 points. I think if you get a similar performance from that and you get a good performance from Ivy Smith and Anthony Gaston Jr., I think that they go into San Jose State and beat them. I think San Jose State had a good win in the beginning of the season against Hofstra, but we saw their true colors against Portland. Portland came in, smacked them in the mouth, threw them on the ground, and pulled their pants down. I think that Grambling State doesn't do the same thing to them, but I think that Grambling State definitely has value at plus 2.5, especially considering where this line is. And the way that I lined this game was a pick 'em. So.
Wow. And going over Matt Randall's plays quickly, Taint play today, Grambling State -1, Northern Illinois -7, San Diego State -5, Bryant +4, Princeton, IU over 142, and Stephen F. Austin +13.5. There it is. And to quickly go over, our guy Sean Williams plays SF Austin +13.5 and Bryant +4. There's Ron Crawford, Sweaty Butcher, Joseph Spooner in the house. Also, we are being joined by Ronnie Christie. Thank you guys for joining us. Okay, let's keep rolling along here with the questions. And we answered Rico Roxas, Louisville, USC, Upstate. Anthony Chalmers says, when can we talk about the San Diego game, please? We just did. And North and Ordinary Sports wants to talk Portland State. Portland State opening up at -5. Now there's 6.5s on the board. What do you think of this spot, Portland State?
Yeah, this is a game where I bet Portland on the first half. Obviously, this is a big rivalry game for both schools, and Portland State's really owned it the last couple years. I just think that Holland Woods and Matt Hauser are having trouble deciding who's going to shoot the ball when. I think that even though you have a really nice team on paper with my fellow Canadian, your fellow Canadian, Jim Alonzo Walker joining the fold as a transfer, I just think that Portland's going to be able to play a little tough today. I think that they're going to be able to stay in it at least for the first half. I think that Portland, the way that they're playing defense is what's going to distinguish them in this game. 33% from the three-point line versus Portland State's 41%. I think that free throw shooting is definitely going to play a key in the end of the game, but when this line opened at 3 full game and moved up to 6.5 in a rivalry game, the only play I can do was take the dog on the first half, and I'll have to watch it live because I believe that it'll be on one of the streaming sites that I pay for.
All right, the next question comes from Gabriel Fleurycourt, wondering about what you think about Cornell as open up as 19.5-point dogs, now 20 or 20.5 at Syracuse. What do you think of Cornell? Can they cover it?
Yeah, this is a real tough spot for me to bet either way. My numbers tell me to take Cornell in the first half and full game because you have to understand that there is Boeheim's sons going up against each other. Boeheim coach up against one of his sons on Cornell, and I think that just from that aspect, it really pushes me away from the game. So my initial leans were Cornell in the first half and full game. I don't think that the coach takes it too hard on his son, who is the lead scoring piece for this Cornell team. And I just think that Cornell's going to have trouble scoring over that zone. I think that everybody's going to have trouble scoring over that zone, even with the lack of height at the guard spot for Syracuse. So it's a stay away from me.
All right, the next question coming in from Xavier Wayne. He wants to know about a total on a game that we've already talked about, that being Troy, Texas A&M. And I can tell you the answer because it opened up at 139.5 and it's all the way down to 134.5. And Xavier Wayne wants to know what you think about the under.
Yeah, the time to get on the under was when it was at 138 and moving down. At this point now, you have to be contrarian and go with the over or just lay off of it.
All right, the next spot is a question from James. James wanting to know what you think about UC Santa Barbara, Oregon State. Oregon State opening up at -11, now 10s and 9.5s on the board. UC Santa Barbara, Oregon State.
I'm really trying to separate in my mind UC Santa Barbara from Cal Sun because that's what keeps on popping in when I think about this Oregon State matchup tonight. It didn't stop me from getting on UCSB. I got them +11. Obviously, we've seen the line move. This is a situation where I just think that you're dealing with a very confident, well-manned team in UCSB with Max Heidegger, Armando So, amongst others. You have McLaughlin, you have Ramsey. These are guys that can score the basketball different types of ways. These are guys that are going to be salivating at an opportunity to play a Power 5 matchup. And I think that UC Santa Barbara, coming off a little bit of a disappointing game, I think that we see them really step it up and really give Trey Tinkle and Ethan Thompson all that they can handle. I think that Oregon State wins the game. I just think that they don't cover the spread.
It's been one all in 24/7 wants to know about Morehead State +19, and Devo Lane wants to know if Missouri will cover. Here, Morehead State, Missouri opening up at 19-point favorites. Now they're 18.5 points favorites. Morehead State, Missouri, Max.
Yeah, it's hard to ignore the ATS record for both these teams. Both these teams, I believe, are undefeated, but let's not allow that to function too much. Fall into our capping too much. I think that this Missouri team, while they can be very efficient offensively, I don't think that we're going to get a consistent offensive showing like we did against Wofford. Wofford played at a certain kind of pace that dictated that Mizzou would have to score the basketball. Unfortunately for Wofford, they weren't able to score the basketball, and Mizzou's defense came to play. I think that today in this game, Morehead State's going to be a change of pace type of team compared to Wofford. I think that Morehead State's going to want to slow the pace down. They're going to want to play a little more deliberately, take advantage of penetration opportunities when they arise. And I think that Morehead State stays within this number, at least on the first half. I bet them +11 on the first half. I think that they can stay within the number full game, but it didn't make my overall card for the full game play. It just seems like a lot of points for Mizzou to be laying, even though we have a lot of faith in Mark Smith and Drew Smith and Javon Pickett.
Very quickly, we've got to put a bow on this bad boy. Ray wanting to know about Belmont Lipscomb. Lipscomb opening up as 8.5-point dogs. They're now 10.5 or even 11 at Bovada. Belmont Lipscomb.
Yeah, this is a crazy move in my mind because you do have Hassan Asadullah on Lipscomb, who is a very dominant player in the middle. And I think that Lipscomb is definitely going to want to win this game. You know, there's so much to do. There's so much non-basketball stuff to do with this game. These are crosstown rivals. Casey Alexander went across town over to Belmont from Lipscomb. So I'm sure that he wants to put on a good performance at his old stomping grounds. And with this Belmont team, you just have to represent with this Kunkel kid. You know, he's come on real strong. You have Mazinski, you have Tyler Scanlon, you have Grayson Murphy. These are the offensive pieces that you can depend on. I can't go up against them when you have Michael Buckland and Fleming on the other side for Lipscomb. These guys just don't impress me scoring wise. I look for Belmont to start fast. I look for Belmont to win the first half, cover the first half spread, and I'm going to make it my play of the day.
Ooh, Belmont is the play of the day.
First half, Jim.
First half play of the day. Wow. It has come. It has arrived. Stackwop saying, what's Max play of the day? Here we have it. By the way, Chattanooga 8, Florida State 7. Early in the game, Maxie, let's get off to a winning start, Maxie. I got a lot of money put into this card at this point. We're not as much as, not even close to what you have in the card. So, but for me in college basketball, okay. Belmont, first half, we found our play the day. Belmont, first half, we're getting -5.5 and -105. That is available at Bet365. Belmont, -5.5. Belmont, first half, -5.5 and -105. There you have it. There you have it. Sorry to the questions that I didn't get to. Sorry to the ones that I didn't get to. We do the best we can. We had to be moving very quickly. And there we go. Belmont first half, -5.5, -105. I'm going to very quickly go over all of Max's plays. And then I'll talk about and I'll add in the ones I've tailed. So he's on Chattanooga plus 21.5. I tailed it at 20. He's on Siena plus 6.5, -110. I tailed that as well. I didn't get the 6.5 that he got out early this morning. These are the plays he gave out earlier this morning. Siena over 139.5, -110. Loyola under 129.5, -110. He also got Loyola over 131.5, -110. He was concerned about the under. Ryder under 146.5, -110. That market move has also gone against him, but he's not going to try for a Polish middle there, and I agree it's gone too far. Just take a shot at it. Memphis -15 at -110. I tailed that. I did not get the 15. I got 16. Memphis first half -9, -115. I'm tailing that, and I will bet it after the show. Vandy -7.5, -110. I got it at 8. I tailed it. SFA plus 13, -110. I tailed that too. Then he's on Mount St. Mary plus 10, -105. Over 136.5. Virginia Tech -110. Troy plus 11, first half -115. I tailed that. Bryant plus 4 at -110. I am tailing that. I still have to bet it. Wagner first half plus 2, -105. Binghamton first half plus 7.5, -105. And NJIT -13.5 full game. Binghamton first half, NJIT full game. Then he doubled up on St. Louis, and I tailed that, but I still have to bet it. St. Louis -22, -110. St. Louis first half -13 and -110. Then he's on Florida Gulf Coast at plus 3.5 at -110. Georgia first half -2.5, -115. I tailed that, or tailing that. Boston College first half -5, -115. I'm tailing that. He's on St. John's -6 at -105. Stephen F. Austin first half plus 7.5, -110. He's doubling up there. Belmont first half -5.5 and -105 is the play the day, and I will be tailing that as well. Wow! A lot of action on tonight's card. Thank you, Max, so much. Stick around with me for a second, Max. In NHL, I'm on the under 6.5 at plus 118 in Capitals Rangers. In basketball, I'm on DeMar DeRozan over 22.5 points at -120. I thought that would get hammered. It was not hammered. I'm on it. I added Hawks plus 11 at -103 on the late show. I also added Cavaliers first quarter plus 3.5 at -111. And then I'm already on the Jazz, and that's it. That is my card. I was leaning towards Warriors first quarter, but I got off it. That's the card. We don't have time to bring in Freddie Fortune today, sadly. We don't have time to bring in Freddie Fortune because in 16 minutes, the playoff drive live. I'm going to pour myself a beverage, and I will be capping with Big Ragu and DJ Big Boss going over this NFL card and NCAA football card. Please join us in 16 minutes. Pour yourself a beverage and hammer this out. Ronnie Christie, too caught up with your horses. I love hearing that. I already tweeted out the first plays that I tailed for Max, and I've got 16 minutes to go bet the rest of them. Follow Max.
Just a quick update, Jim.
Yeah.
No Jalen Carey for Syracuse tonight. He's out with a thumb injury.
Wow. So Cornell, do you think you might make a move on Cornell?
I'm gonna watch it. I think that it's on my live menu, my live betting menu, and I'll make a play live on it. And just be looking on my Twitter. Last night I put out Houston money line plus 135. Guys got way better numbers than that, and it cashed. So be on the lookout for my Twitter plays live tonight.
At Maxwell Smart 420, back him follow him right now. Follow him right now if you're not following him already. Max, thank you so much for all your hard work, all your insights, caring so much about putting money in our pocket. Let's have a giant night tonight, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. Catch Maxwell Smart each and every day here on Betting with the Bag. Thank you, Max, my man.
All right, thanks very much for having me, and let's have a profitable night. Let's ALS bookmakers.
No, I'm going to need a bigger one than that, Maxie. Can you give us a big giant Lecce, man? You think we're going to let you get away with that, Lecce?
Lecce, ALS bookmakers.
Ah.